Welcome to the Reverse Sweep Round 11 presented by USAA Insurance. As a community, we are absolutely obsessed with talking around KDs, Slayer ratings, and just generally speaking who can shoot really well. But what about the unsung heroes, the objective contributors, those players that go about getting the points that at the end of the day actually matter? So in this video, what we're going to do is show you the best Call of Duty League objective players as it stands right now. Let's start off with Hardpoint, and the number one player came as a great surprise to me. It will be Fire of the Paris Legion, scoring just under 90 points of hill time per 10 minutes that he played. He may have struggled in the league, he may have found that slaying side difficult, but he certainly contributed when it came to the objective side. And you've got to remember that with Fire out 10 pin, they haven't really looked better. And you've got to think, sometimes teams do just need that glue person, that objective person, to let the rest of the team do their job and go out and slay. And I don't know, maybe Paris are regretting letting that young man go. In second place will be Insight of the Toronto Ultra. Third is Slasher of the LA Thieves, while in fourth you've got Dallas Empire's new recruit, and that is Fellow. Fifth place, we've actually got an SMG, the highest first on the leaderboard, if you will, and that is Envoy of the Chicago OpTic. Now, the interesting thing here is that typically hill time is dominated by your assault rifle players because SMGs like to push out, get as far away from the hill as they can, and push the opposing teams back. But that doesn't seem to count here for OpTic, with Envoy having a very untraditional playstyle. This perhaps allows him to take those late routes and flanks when he's sitting there for the scrap time and picking up that hill. For Search and Destroy, we've gone with two different metrics, and the first one is going to be plants. And the number one player across the entire league for the amount of plants that he gets down within his game time is Silly of the LA Gorillas. Generally speaking, the LAG have been pretty good at Search and Destroy. Their respawns are pretty hopeless, but their Search and Destroy gives them plenty of chances to steal series away. And I do think that their high plant, their willingness to get that bomb down and then set up for the post-plant situation really does give them a great opportunity to execute this and see out their strength. And Silly being that number one bomb planter is not really a surprise if you go and watch the games back. Number two, we're looking at Fire again of the Paris Legion, showing just how much of an objective contributor he really was for that side. Next up is Scump of the Chicago OpTic. Then we've got Looney of the Seattle Surge. And finally, we've got another Paris player, although it is temp, so a lot of his stats are also from when he was on the Thieves. And there's a good mix of players here, showing how different teams really do like to play S&D in different ways. The second statistic that we're looking at in Search and Destroy is the number of defuses. Now, don't get me wrong, we do see some ninja defuses, but generally speaking, the way I look at this statistic is which players will last alive at the end of round. And at the first place, we have Decimate of the Seattle Surge. In second place, and this is where it gets really interesting, is another Seattle Surge player, and that is Gunless. Now, this says to me that Seattle as an SND team maybe are very happy to play post-plant, very happy to let the opposing team put the bomb down, then they know where they are and they can collapse around them. It would be a very viable strategy, and apparently it's doing them pretty well because, as I said, two Seattle Surge players at the top of your Defuse leaderboard. In third place, we've got New York Subliners Hydra. In fourth, we do have Slasher of the LA Thieves. And in fifth, it is arguably the greatest player of all time, and that is Crimsix of the Dallas Empire. And finally, we come to Control, and here the metric that we have used is the amount of caps that players have managed to get. And number one is actually Fellow of the Dallas Empire. So I do think that there are a lot of people questioning, Huke out, Fellow in, was it the right thing for Dallas to do? For me personally, I would say no. But Fellow's showing here that he does have that objective side to his game that maybe the Dallas Empire felt that they were missing, and he's our number one Control cap player currently. In second place, we have Insight, showing himself up on these objective leaderboards again. As an AR, he loves to look over those lanes whilst he stood in the zone, but this also says more for Toronto Ultra's aggressive SMG duo, loving to push out and leave him on the point. In third and fourth, we have Celium and Orsities of the Atlanta FaZe, and I think that this is more about just how bloody good Atlanta FaZe are at control. They get a lot of caps because they simply roll a lot of teams on their attack rounds, and in fifth place, we actually have Fire again, showing just truly how much of the objective work he was doing for Paris. And to be quite frank, looking at these kind of things and seeing that he was putting up that kind of objective contribution, if he hadn't lost his nerve a little bit and was contributing more on the killing side of the game, would we still have Fire in the league? Would we still be talking about him as a rookie with potential, rather than his current situation, which is back in challenges? Do let me know what you think of our top contributors. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.